Welcome, fight fans, to episode 107 of the Hooks In MMA podcast. We're back, baby. We're here for UFC 318, happening this Saturday down in New Orleans at the Smoothie King Center. And we've got the hometown Dustin Poirier going against Max Holloway for the trilogy. If you're a UFC fan, you've probably seen the first two fights. Both were bangers, and I think we're up for another treat with the trilogy fight. So we're gonna jump right into easy lines, get ahead of that book. We're gonna be focusing more or less on the main card. But before we head in there, just wanted to highlight kind of two of the best fights on the prelims. First being Marvin Vettori versus Brendan Allen. These guys have both been in the middleweight division for a while now, and really liking the value on Vettori. He's a plus 170 dog over on Bet365. Think he gets his arm raised. I would bet on a decision. He tends to go the distance in most of his fights. Really good gas tank and just a very smart, high IQ fighter. And I think he gets the upset win. Moving on to what I believe is the prelim kind of headliner. Here's Kyler Phillips versus Lockdog Oliveira. Shout out to you, Lockdog, Hooks and alum. He's been on the show a couple times now. He's undefeated in the UFC, and Kyler Phillips is on an impressive run himself. He's 12 and 3 overall, but I believe he's racked up close to 6 UFC wins. He's got a very fast pace, high energy, and this might be one of the closest fights of the night. So if I check the odds on this one, it is very close. Lock Dog is minus 150, Kyler coming in at plus 125. But we got to back the Hooks and alum with Lock Dog to get his arm
Yeah.
raised. I think he's going to crack into the top 10 after this fight. And yeah, he's just a very exciting, very skilled bantamweight. So good luck, Lock Dog. We got your back. And
Look,
yeah, hopefully he gets the win there. So Z, I know you've done a lot of analysis on the main card. I believe the first one here is Dan Ige versus Bellator veteran Patricio Pitbull. Lead us off with your analysis here.
yeah, absolutely. Pitbull coming from Bellator, he had one performance in the octagon here. It wasn't a great performance against Yair Rodriguez. Seemed to have a bit of octagon jitters there, whereas Ige, kind of the polar opposite. He's really hot right now, coming off some big wins. He's knocked a few guys out. I'm just kind of cut to the chase here. I am taking Dan Ige in this fight. I believe Pitbull's a little past his prime at this point. During his prime, he was one of the best fighters on the Bellator roster, in my opinion. But he's kind of past that now. Whereas Ige, 33 years old, I believe, just kind of entering his prime right now for fighting. As I said, coming in hot. I like him in this fight. He's as game as they come. He takes fights on short notice. He's gonna have a longer reach. He's going to be taller. He's just bigger and younger. So I don't think Pitbull is going to come out of here victorious in this particular matchup. I'm liking Ige in a decision. Right now, that is at plus 110 on Bet365. Him money line minus 210. Not a ton of value there. Maybe it's good for some parlays because I can see Ige finishing him as well. If you want to kind of cover your bases there, it's okay to take a money line in some parlays, I believe. But my main pick here is Ige by decision at plus 110. But what are you thinking there?
Yep, I'm leaning towards him as well. It's got the reach advantage, better striker in my opinion. So I think he keeps them at bay, kind of peppers them with jabs and combos. And the one bet I kind of liked it was a boost one. So it's fight result Dan Ige, so that means money line, 100 plus sig strikes. So if it does go the distance, he should get
Yeah.
there. And then 25 sig strikes in round one, which he usually does start pretty quick. I could see him kind of just running out from the get-go, getting that middle of the octagon, and that's a plus 450 return. So I kind of like that. You're getting pretty good value at 5.5 to 1 there. What's that about 17.5% implied probability? So
Nice.
I think that's, yeah, pretty good chances of happening. I might just throw like a half unit on that one.
Nice, nice.
Sweet. So yeah, we'll keep it going here.
Yep,
Next fight up on the main card. Looks like we're just stuck a little bit, but let's get back into that. We've got it right here, and that's Kevin Holland, Daniel Rodriguez. This should be a banger of a welterweight fight.
yep. Yeah, so Holland, heavy favorite here, minus 550. So not a lot of value there on the money line. Rodriguez a plus 400. Holland sticking with welterweight, which I like for him. He's a much better performances at welterweight. But Daniel Rodriguez is a very tough opponent. Makes his money with striking, and I hope Holland comes in with a game plan to kind of get him to the ground. Holland has been known to kind of stray away from the fight plan sometimes to kind of do his own thing in there. But if he sticks to a game plan of mixing in some like jujitsu, some takedown attempts, I do see him coming out of this victorious. If he looks to strike it out with D Rod, it's going to be a tough day for him. Daniel will have a chance to win in that case in a decision, I think, if Holland kind of stays on his feet with him. But Holland should be able to out volume him, get a decision win, in my opinion. If he like I said, looks to mix in multiple MMA techniques like takedowns and wrestling and things like that. But if he looks to stay in kind of a slow kickboxing match, then it's going to be, kind of a longer day for him. But either way, I do see him coming out with a decision win, most likely. That is a plus 210. Could he finish Daniel if he gets him to the ground? I do see that as well. So if you want to go submission plus 250 or, like a round finish, Holland round two plus 350, round three is plus 600. Those could be value plays as well. But for me, I'm really looking at the decision win for Holland at plus 210. Looks like decent value to me. What are you thinking there? What do
Yeah, the
you,
money lines don't look great. I mean, if anything, Rodriguez plus 400 is
yeah,
probably your only long shot value play.
yeah,
It's kind of a weird one because I think the last Hooks in episode that
yeah,
was Holland Luke. It was a
yeah,
month ago, so 5 weeks.
yeah,
Crazy turnaround. But then you look at D-Rod, he was only fighting 2 months, 2 weeks. What's that? 10 weeks ago. So
yeah,
quick turnaround for both of them.
yep,
That tells me kind of anything can happen. So yeah, I kind of like your Holland plus 210 decision. That's decent value over 3-1. But even like a crazy one like D-Rod by KO and 25 sig strikes at plus 2000, like
yeah,
that's wild. Like he
yeah.
could, not easily, but he could
He
win
could.
by KO. Even
Yep.
on its own, him by KO is plus 1,000, but I don't know, to sprinkle in 25 sigs to
Yeah.
double that,
Yeah.
that just seems nuts. So
Yeah.
21 to 1 odds.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah. $10 gets you 210. So
It's like a
that's
4% implied probability, but I feel it's like a 10% chance. So
yes, exactly. Worth it, baby.
yeah, good
Equity.
value maybe hidden. And I think this is just one like don't put too much money on, but enjoy it because it could be a crazy fight and a crazy KO on either side.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, that will definitely be a fan favorite matchup for sure. Um,
Yeah.
so let's move ahead to what I would say is kind of the anti-fan favorite in Paulo Costa. He seems to be one of the most hated fighters versus Roman
Yeah.
Kopylov, who, yeah, kind of a strange body type, but he's been pretty successful in the UFC. So who do you got here?
Yeah, so Roman, he's moderate favorite to heavy favorite at minus 225. Costa plus 187. Costa coming off a frustrating loss to Sean Strickland. Costa tried to move forward and keep the pace and engage more with Sean, but Strickland was having none of that, of course. He's a very defensive fighter. We're not going to see that in this fight, though. Roman likes to move forward. He's going to meet him in the middle of the center of the cage and look to take his head off. Fans are going to love this one. I think this will be the fight of the night, most likely. Costa, dangerous striker, much tougher than he's given credit for. As you said, Kronz, he's kind of a polarizing figure. Some people like him, some people hate him. He's kind of he's depending on what you think is funny. He might be funny in the off the octagon, or maybe he's like weird or kind of cringy to some. But that he's not given as much credit for just how dangerous he is because of that, I think. But Roman is just as tough though. If someone isn't ended in the first round with like a flash KO, then I do believe I see this bout going very contested, very closely. They're actually both very similar in terms of their styles of fighting. Both look to strike a lot, right, and kind of move forward and put the pressure on their opponent. So I give Kopolov the win here, though, in decision. And I'm taking a lot of decisions today. Spoiler alert, but yeah, I like the decision here. He has a chance to finish Costa, I think, as well, but Costa has only been finished once. That was against Adesanya. So I do see most likely, like I said, if nothing crazy happens in that first round, like in terms of a finish, then I do see it going further. Kopolov's kicking game is just nasty as well. Costa is there to be hit. He doesn't mind eating strikes to land his own. I like the speed and power of Roman that he possesses. He's been more active the last few years as well, bit more dedicated to his craft. I'm not saying Paulo's like, he's taking it easy or whatever, right? He's taking the fight. He takes it very seriously, more than people think. But he has other income sources outside the cage, I believe. Whereas Roman, this is all he has, and he's ready to kill for it. So I'm taking Roman in this fight at, as I said, decision most likely, and that is a plus 105. That's a little bit better than his minus 225 money line. Not, well, it is quite a bit better, but you're still only kind of doubling your money. But I like that. I like that, the value there. Or, if you're leaning more on Costa, I mean, him plus 400 in decision, quite possible as well. I couldn't blame anyone for taking that at its value, but if I had to pick someone, I'm picking a Roman here by decision. Yeah, what do you think?
Yeah, like there's that boost taking the decision to plus 120 for Roman.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, yes, I see that now. That's good.
So you get, 15 cents on the dollar there, which is
That's good.
not too bad of a
Nope.
little lift. Yeah, I do think it's going to be close. I feel the money line lines seem a little bit too wide. I
Yeah.
could see it being more of like a pick 'em fight, but I guess on Bet365 there is more money on Costa because he's only plus 187 there. So
Right.
I guess he is more of the more like casual fan. He's more
Yeah.
popular than not many people know Kopolov, but yeah, Kopolov's look good. Like he's got that crazy range. I think he just sits kind of on the outside throwing kicks and just jabs, stuff like that. And yeah, I like that decision pick. I think it will be maybe like a 29-28, pretty close contested fight. So we'll go with Roman, which I think brings us right to the main card of the evening, which
Yep.
is our trilogy, Holloway Poirier 3. And so, yeah, kick
Yeah.
it off there, Z.
Yeah. I
BMF
mean,
title of the world. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So, yeah, retirement fight for Dustin Poirier here, his final fight, but third meeting for these two in the octagon. Both times previously, Poirier was the victor. The first match, though, Holloway was just a kid. I believe he was the UFC's youngest fighter on the roster at that time when they fought, but Max got submitted. His jiu-jitsu game wasn't great, or his ground game grappling wasn't there at all at that time. So easily submitted by Poirier the first fight. Second fight, the striking numbers show it was very close, but Poirier was landing the much more significant and impactful shots, mostly with his hands. For the third meeting, what stands out to me now is that Holloway is much more in his prime years at 33, whereas Poirier, obviously at the tail end of his career, past his kind of absolute prime. Uh, Poirier kind of has one foot out the door at this point. That doesn't mean he didn't train hard. He's going to come in just as prepared as ever, I believe. You could even say that kind of motivates you, being obviously your last fight, obviously being in New Orleans, his hometown, all that sort of stuff. It's kind of mentally creeping around this fight. But Holloway at 33, I feel is still looking to make a run at gold and a belt. not just the BMF belt, not a made up kind of belt, but the featherweight or lightweight championship belt. I think he's much better suited for this lightweight division at this point. He looks much stronger at that weight class now that he's a bit older. His volume punches, kind of have more damage at this level or at this weight class. So I do like him here. Holloway just looked phenomenal in this last fight at lightweight against Outgagey, kind of outclassed him a little bit. Obviously, he did lose by KO to Ilya Topuria, but so is everyone at that division. And obviously, he just went up a weight class and knocked out Charles. So I'm going to forgive Holloway on that loss. But at this weight class, I think Max will be able to withstand the strikes of Poirier. And my gut is just telling me that Max comes out with the win here. Even though it is Poirier's kind of final fight, I think the judges are going to be, kind of on his side, leaning towards those close rounds are going to go Poirier's way. I do believe on the judges' scorecards, but Max is going to come in there with excellent movement, technical striking. As I said, yes, it's in New Orleans. Close rounds are going to Poirier, but I think Max is going to outvolume him, outpoint Poirier in the long run here. And Dustin's coming off an ACL surgery, broke his nose in the last fight as well. So people aren't really talking about that as much. So he's going to be coming up banged up. This actually, I could see even being a doctor stoppage at the end of the fourth round if Max ends up hurting him or really kind of, whatever, damaging him some way. But I see Max most likely getting a decision win here, and that is at plus 160. Again, kind of the most likely outcome they're saying on Bet 365, but I am leaning towards that. If not, maybe like I said, a fourth or even fifth round doctor stoppage for Holloway. But yeah, what are you thinking here, Kronsberry?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy to think and even just see Holloway as the favorite, even though he's
Yeah,
lost twice to Poirier, but
yeah,
much different. I was looking back, I believe the first fight was 13 years ago, and then
yeah,
their most recent fight was before COVID. It was in 2019, so it was over 6 years ago now. So lots changed since then.
yeah,
Obviously, they both had success and great careers. But
sure.
you're right. The age difference, I think, gives Holloway the edge. Probably just has more to fight for, like you were saying. Poirier's right, yeah, at retirement, so might not be as ambitious or as aggressive as he might have been earlier in his career. And yeah, Max is one of the best strikers in the UFC pound for pound. So I think he does piece up Poirier from the outside. I think he wins that indecision by points and yeah, continues on his, legacy here with Dustin probably giving it his all near the end, probably getting the bonus for fight of the night.
Yep.
And yeah, sails off to the sunset. So what do we have there? There's a max money line over 3.5 rounds at plus 150. That one looks
Lovely.
pretty good because that pays the same as by decision. So you might as well in case he
Yep,
gets a late.
yep. Actually, that's really good considering what
Yeah.
I said. Yeah,
You get 7.5 minutes in case of that doctor stoppage, like you said, right? So,
yeah,
um, the other ones maybe is Holloway money line 206 strikes. That's a lot, but these guys are pretty high output,
yeah,
especially in a 5 rounder. And then 25 SIGs in round one. I think that's easily doable. It's more the 200. Will he get there?
yeah,
Think if it goes all 5 rounds, yes, but that'll be contingent on that.
yeah,
And then there's that other one where it's a saying fight to go to the distance, 300 plus SIG strikes, and then 40 SIG strikes landed in round one. And that's combined across the two of them. That's
right. Yep,
interesting because now you're only talking 150 each or 20 each in round one. So,
yep.
yeah, I think I'll probably sprinkle on those three, but I do lean with you on the Holloway decision or over, like we said.
Yeah. It's tough. It's tough to do it here with Poirier's last fight. Obviously,
Yeah,
it's set up for him to win, and
hometown.
yeah, hometown and
Yeah,
everything. So obviously, it's easy chance that he wins as well. But I just think their first fight, Max, that was Max's first fight at 155. He was used to 145. So he out he like they pretty much were evenly boxing each other. Just like I said, Poirier was the bigger, stronger guy at that time and landed more impactful shots. Now I think Holloway's, like I said, older. He's filled out his frame a little bit more. He's already fought at 155. He obviously can knock people out at 155 as the Gaethje's fight shows. So, um, I understand why the lines are like this and
Hmm.
why he's favored, because of all those reasons. So, but I can't fault anyone for taking Poirier at plus 110, in his hometown either. But yeah, like I said, if I had to pick, I'm going with Holloway on this one due to those like age and prime factors and those sort of things. So yeah,
Yep. No, for sure. And even you got to think for Holloway, he's got something extra here to avenge two losses, so he might be even
right.
more competitive than he normally is to get his arms raised. So
Yeah.
yeah, either way, guys, great card ahead of us this Saturday. Make sure to tune in. Hope to see you at the cashier late Saturday night, and we'll catch you on the next one, episode 108. And yeah, hope everyone hits their bets. So let's go, let's get it, and see you next time.